So welcome to another amazing summit with Empowered Talks. I have some absolutely amazing, as always, speakers who will start to trickle in shortly. I try to get on here a little bit earlier so that I can make sure that the technology works. This is the beauty of virtual. And I don't see that this is, I hope this is recording. I'm not seeing anything here. Anyways, I hope everyone's doing amazing and you will love Leadership with Heart. Leadership with Heart is, oh my gosh, it is so important in business that we lead with our heart. You know, I don't know how many of you know, but I am a doctor of metaphysics and I work a lot with energy in mind and energy in heart. And so everything is from the heart and typically for a higher purpose. And everything I do is different. Even when I work with real estate, I'm not your typical real estate agent. I work with people on tougher projects that are, more detailed and need some extra hand holding. And I feel like I'm here to do something higher, like a higher purpose, not just to do business and make money, although there's certainly nothing wrong with making money. Money's important. That's the energy that we all have chosen here on earth. And so we have to work for money, of course. But you can't just do it for money. It just doesn't work as well when you do it only for money. It's best if you can work from the heart, work with a passion that can really only come from your heart. I mean, it's good to work with the brain. Brain is important. Of course, we all need one, right? It's tough to function without one, but you can't even live without a heart, right? And so if you're not working from the heart, life is going to be hard. Like everything is going to be hard. It's just going to be harder. And it's so much more better. And that may not be proper English, and that's okay. And I do have a publishing company, so that's important. I like to share all kinds of things with people because part of what I'm here to do is to help people see their greatness and to also explain to them that perfectionism isn't necessary and it doesn't even serve you. It doesn't serve other people either, because you're not doing any good to them, because everyone sees you being perfect and then everyone's like, what? I have to do this to do that? No, you don't have to do anything. And you know what? You don't have to be perfect, and you shouldn't be perfect. So, but you should be from the heart. It is super important to lead from the heart, and not just even to lead, but like, you don't need to be leading a large team. When I say leadership, right? Like leadership could be, you could be a solopreneur and leading your clients in whatever it is you're leading. If you're coaching, or if you're, we have a lot of coaches on my summits. We have some real estate agents. And pretty much everyone's an entrepreneur. A lot of them are solopreneurs. A lot of them are, network marketing, big companies, but they work on contract and then they have their own businesses. But it's super, super important to, I think, and I feel that it's important to work with integrity. And it seems to be very difficult to work with integrity for many people. It's so easy to go for what's easier, what's quicker, what's better, what's this, what's that, and it's hard to kind of stay within your own energy and to do the right thing, because the right thing doesn't always bring you the largest amount of money. And it's not always about the money, although everyone seems to think it is. Everyone seems to think everything is about money, but it isn't. Just because you're doing it for work doesn't mean you have to say yes to everything. I've said no to plenty of things. I could have been a quadrillionaire by now. Is that even a real word? When you could make money this way, that way, or the other way. No, I really like helping people. Like, I like helping people. And if I'm not saying that I don't sometimes bend a rule. I don't break it necessarily, but I definitely will bend it and twist it until I can suck the life out of it to help someone. Because rules are man-made and a lot of them are necessary. I get it. But a lot of them are, I don't know, I don't think they're quite that necessary, and they need to be so dictatable. Like it's just no, like no, it doesn't. Like let's have some flexibility, and let's not forget that we're all human beings, and let's not forget that we're all together in this. And I'm starting to really like that word. What do y'all think about the word together? I think it's one of the most amazing words. So I've been trying to come up with another name for my, I'm going to have a women's group. And I think I may have a men's group as well. I may even have one that does everyone together, and then women only one day of the month, men only one day of the month, and the other 2 times we'll have everyone. So that way it's once a week for everyone. I'm a little bit time challenged. For those of you who know me, it's always a little bit of a laughing matter when they say, do you have time? And I'm like, the answer is going to be probably no, but let me see if I can squeeze it in. So I think I really like the word empowered together. It's always got to be empowered, right? Like my empowered group, right? Spelled MP Howard, because those are my initials. And guess what we're talking about next?
The bank code. I can see it.
Bank code. Miss Michelle has joined us. So I just want to, Jose's the reason I'm doing this, because we all met at Jose's event in Maryland.
Here it is.
Jose's event in Maryland, and now a bunch of us are doing it, and we're gonna, Michelle and I are going to talk about it. I know Jose probably has to go because his 6th child could be out any minute now, and
any second.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm so happy that he's here. I was like, I'm not sure if he's going to make it or not. Not that I can't talk. I can always talk. Jeez, there's no shortage of words coming out of my mouth. That's for sure. But anyway, thank you so much for taking the time, Jose. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, indeed.
Hang on.
I'm gonna have this in the background for a few minutes because I gotta step here for a second.
You go do what you need to do. You know what? Thank you. I'm just grateful you were here, period. He's probably got to take care of the kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Michelle, thank you for joining us. So Jose's probably going to leave, but Jose, even if he stays, Jose, Nikki Cruz, myself, and you, all 4 of us are doing this, baby. We are all included in this.
Absolutely. And I got to give a big shout out to you, Marianne, because you will be certified in communication mastery this week.
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah, this week coming. Yes, I will be. Actually, no, the week after I'll be certified, right? We have the training and the certification. So October 2nd is my last day, and I'm officially, I mean, I can still go to all the trainings. So the beauty of this company is you can go to as many trainings as you want. I just don't have to like present or get marked or, be told what to do, which is my favorite thing, is being told what to do, because look at my codes.
I hear you. Right there with you.
Yes, my A.N.K sister over here, which is why I think the whole reason we all kind of bonded, and too bad Andrea couldn't make it either. And Dr. Andrea, she's also with us, and she is just busy doing her own thing because there's so much going on. September, October, November are the big ones. Someone just asked me to go to Miami to a real estate event, and I'm like, I can't make it because I'm going to Greece. So we'll see. I'm trying to see if I can make all that work. So nothing's 100% sure. Who are we hearing? Oh, you. Okay, that's fine. Okay, nobody now because everyone's muted themselves. Yeah, so let's talk about B.A.N.K and how beautiful is it to be able to basically be almost, or pretend that we're almost psychic.
It does. It is like we're almost psychic. It is crazy. I have literally decoded people and within minutes, just given them like a little summary, and they were like, "How did those four cards tell you all of that?" And
Mhm.
I was like, "Because they're magical."
That's right. And they are magical. And you know what? I've talked to some of my friends for this, and because I run in very sort of highly spiritual circles, they're like, wow, that's like using your intuition all the time. And I said, yeah, no, I'm pretty good at assessing people to begin with. But what I wasn't that great at was, I'm like, okay, I can deal with her. I know exactly how to talk to her, and I can deal with her or him or whatever. But I have these other two kind of personalities now that I know them. So I know what to do with these guys because I'm one of them. I know what to do with these guys because I'm a lot of times this one, and I'm a lot of times that one. And those are my first two, and they're a huge part of me. These two, I didn't know what the hell to do with. I didn't know what to do with this one. I could talk to them. They could ask me questions, and I'd be like, why are they asking so many questions? And then I came across a friend who I absolutely love and adore, and she would ask me questions. And I'm like, why is she asking this many questions? Like, I don't even understand. Now I understand. She is this and this. She can't help herself. Like, she has to ask that. That's her job, basically. And this one, I really didn't know what to do this one. Other than it matches my logos and it's one of my favorite colors. And well, this too, actually, but that's funny because these two are my favorite colors. And these are the two that I'm mostly at. But now so I signed up for the level 5 because in my book, it's go big or go home, apparently. And so I couldn't go home until I signed up in Maryland for level 5, not level 1, 2, and I'll get to 3 and 4 and 5. No, no, sign me up, Michelle, for the whole thing. And then put me on speed dial. So I'm now, when we met in May, I started this probably, like, I didn't really give it any attention until maybe sometime later on in June. And it's been like a roller coaster of not really a roller coaster because that'd be like up and down. I'd be like a Ferrari, which they have. You can win a Ferrari actually. And so I now know a lot about these, and I knew maybe 1%. Like, to be honest, maybe 1 or 5%. And now I know what to do with these. And I had a client that I did a really cool thing for, and I just sold his property really quick. And he was this. And these people, now I know how to talk to them, sort of.
Well, that is awesome. So let's hear about that little story of how you managed to do that.
Well, I basically said a few things and then I shut up. And then I just kind of stayed quiet, which is unusual for me to do. And I like talking. I like talking. I like hugging. I would normally hug my clients when I go to meet them. Yeah, I didn't hug this one. Nor did I hug this one. My friends, yes, I'll hug. My friends will hug me for sure, all of them, like whatever. But I am this and this, and I've learned to speak a little in another language. So I'm just going to tell you. So first I'm going to read what the reds are because both Michelle and I are hardcore reds. So here's the values that a red person, which is an A personality, and it's called an action, not anything else you're going to think of with an A.
However, sometimes we can be that way.
Sometimes we can come across that way. Well, we can be that way too if we have to. So here's the values for an A. Freedom. Okay, I love freedom so much that I used to work at a store in Canada called Freedom. And I owned, this was a jeans store in downtown Toronto at a place called B.A.N.K Center. And when I lived in Europe, I had my own store. I lived in Croatia. I had my own store called Freedom. And it was a clothing store. So that's how much I love freedom. And then flexibility, spontaneity, action, which is why I had to sign up for the whole 5. Sign me up. Sign me up. You take credit cards? Yep. Sign me up. Because we like credit cards. Opportunity, excitement. I'm going to spend a whole bunch of credit and I'm going to be excited about it. So we're clear. Don't hit me up, everyone. I'm working on it. No. Attention. I like attention. Like, would I be here doing a virtual summit or any kind of summit if I didn't like attention? Stimulation. You know, I do like 50 different things. Competition. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of competition where there's some fun and there's some winning involved, and I care about my image somewhat. And and I like prizes. That's not on here, but I do like prizes. Okay, so those are the characteristics of an A. The nurturing, which will be the other side of me when I do my coaching and my energy healing and I teach meditation and my other woo-woo stuff, which is amazing. And I'm also a reverend, so I can marry people. So this all goes under this. So relationships is the first value. Authenticity, personal, personal growth, significance. Who doesn't like significance? Teamwork. I like teamwork. Involvement, community, charity, which I'm going to be opening up a charity at some point. Ethics, harmony, morality, and contribution. Okay, that's who I am. This is who I was serving and couldn't serve before. I couldn't serve these people before. But now, look at this. Stability, structure, systems. I might still be a little allergic to systems. Planning. Now, I do have to plan. So there, you know, and people would tell me, you have to plan. You know you have to plan. And I go, I don't like planning. And I was like, no, you can't tell me I like planning. I don't like planning. Meanwhile, I have to plan these. I can't just, oh, here, let's gather some people and we'll do a summit. No, there's some planning involved. A lot, actually. And then processes. Well, that could be this. Predictability. We're hoping they're all going to show up. All my speakers are going to show up. Responsibility. I'm responsible if they don't. Well, they're responsible if they don't show up. So there's duty, there's rules. Okay, I can't. Rules are still only meant to be broken, if you ask me, but we're not, you know, it's okay. I know how to tone that part down. Credentials and titles. I have some titles here, so I'm good. Nikki's laughing at me. And tradition. Yeah, tradition, you know. Yeah, let's go to my friend's house for Christmas. You know, that's my tradition. So that's who I was working with. And like I said a few things and then I let them speak. He asked me some questions. He probably had a little bit of this. And he was really cool, you know, and I answered all of his questions. And one night, I can't remember, he said, okay, tomorrow, can we talk? It was about maybe 9 o'clock. I don't typically talk to people after 9. Sometimes I do, and only if there's an offer going through. And we did actually have an offer. So he was like, okay, tomorrow let's chat. And I'm like, how polite of him, right? No, I said, no, I'm going to call you right now. We're going to talk about this. You're going to ask me everything. I want you to sleep tonight in peace. And I want to answer all your questions. So we were on the phone for an hour. I was answering his questions about, he just hadn't done a sale in a long time and was wondering, what does this mean? What does that mean? So I explained everything and he thanked me. And that was it.
Very nice.
We met once. I came in, I did my part. I stayed for an hour. I had to go to another appointment. He stayed because he likes to tinker. So there was, that wasn't working or something, I don't know. And that was it. And then 3 days later, it was sold. So it was a little bit at the speed of light, at the speed of action, but he was like thrilled out of his pants. So I want to read you the values of this because he did have some of this too, but there's a lot of this I can actually relate to. So learning, I am constantly learning. Intelligence, well, of course I'm intelligent, hello. Logic, sometimes yes, sometimes not so much. Self-mastery, I'm working on it all the time, nonstop. Technology, oh, that's probably my number one challenge in life is technology. But I have come a long way and I am doing things that a lot of my younger friends don't even know how because I have to. But there's simple things that I don't even know how to do, you know? So it is what it is. Research and development. Yeah, I got nothing on that one. Out there yet. Science. I do like a lot of science. Like I like science more than I thought I did. You know, universal truths. I love that. Expertise. Sure, I'm an expert in a lot of things, so I like talking to experts. Competence. I love competence. Okay, if you say you can do this, then thank you for doing it. Accuracy. Accuracy is good. I'm going to be there at 2, not at 2:30 when my speaking time is over. That's good too. And I definitely am 100% a big picture person. That is definitely my personality. So I do have some of this, but I had almost none of this. And now this has rose. I don't even know what my number is, but I know I'm in the double digits and I was in 1 digit. So above this on Facebook, I am going to post a link for anyone who is interested in filling out the code for free. It's free and you get to find out a little bit about your own personality. How much fun is that? What's your favorite
Yeah,
subject? You.
exactly. So they'll get a full free report that's like a $99 value, and it's all about them. And it takes less than 90 seconds. Can't beat that.
90 seconds. Actually, I'm going to let you talk about whatever you want. And I'm going to go post that link maybe now.
Awesome. You post the link. And so all of you that are on here listening, B.A.N.K is reverse engineered personality science. And it's the only methodology in the world scientifically validated to predict buying behavior and buy-in behavior. Why do people buy into you, your ideas, your thoughts, your products, your services in the world in less than 90 seconds? So it predicts all of that in less than 90 seconds. Imagine what your life would be like and your business would be like if you could actually crack the code to people's buying behaviors and their human behaviors. Because not only did this help me grow my business in record time and sell it, it also saved my relationship with my son. And I have the best relationships with everyone around me. So when Marianne heard about this, she was all in. I was all in. I was like, yes, I need to get certified in this. I need to teach this to others. I need to master the skills. I need to do all the things. So we jumped in level 5 certification. And where that's where we are right now. And it is an amazing journey. And like, think about it. Like Marianne talked about how it's like we could like read people's mind. It is the coolest thing. Once you learn it, you can't unlearn it. And you're going to literally start cracking codes of like everyone around you. Takes people watching to a whole new level. And Marianne, we have the tools, the tech that we can even decode like LinkedIn extensions in nanoseconds. Could you imagine going onto LinkedIn and being able to decode someone and then getting a full playbook on how to interact with them? What to say? What? A sales playbook? Game changing. A decoder, you can decode. We have people decode books in there, Marianne. They wrote books through the decoder. And then to top it all off, integrate that with ChatGPT and write in code.
Mhm.
There's
So
like 24. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I was just going to say I use it to write my posts. I'm not a big emailer, but if you are, my goodness, you can take the entire email and put it into the AI decoder and see where you're at and see until and keep writing until you get it so that it's balanced for all 4 personalities. If that's who you're doing it for, unless you're just, I don't know, sending it to a bunch of, I don't know, football players, which are probably almost all A's, right? Or, you know, most of them are A's or something.
And Marion, you can even ask Kai to write it in an email form. Say,
Yeah.
hey, I want to send this in an email. Poof, there it is. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing. And I just wanted to mention that like Marianne was talking about her code, right? And she was going through them, the A, the N, the the K, the B. Every single human is all 4 codes.
Mhm.
It's just the order that they're in that makes us the unique individuals that we are. And
True.
there's 24 different combinations, which is why it seems like sales is a numbers game. Because mathematically it is, unless you crack the code.
And then you crack the code and then you're psychic all of a sudden, and you know exactly how to speak to each person. You know, this one likes a lot of words. This one likes a lot of words, a lot of words, lots and lots of emotions, hugging, words. This, let's talk about a higher purpose. You know, the proceeds of this purchase will go to a charity. That's what you want to say to her, him, whatever. This one, oh my God, it's so exciting. And this is the tone of voice you want to talk to them because they don't have a lot of time. And so this, for my friends who love me and also put up with me, this is the way I am when you text me and you email me. I literally will look at my phone, and if I see a long text message, I don't even look at it. I don't. I toss it. I don't. I'm like, I'm sorry, but you have to break it up for me. And it's funny because my friend said to me, she goes, "You never write a really long text message." She goes, "You do everything in these small, but you send lots of them." And I said, because that's the only way I can process them. If I have to see, now I have to go, oh my God, I need like 2 whole minutes to read this. Are you out of your mind? First of all, to get my attention for 2 minutes in a day is already hard. You know, so like, it's just, you can't. So you better make it short and snappy, get it to the point. Don't be giving me the whole life story because I don't care. Basically. This one, this one's last because they're going to ask the most amount of questions. They're going to ask questions. You're going to think, oh my God, I've given him every answer or her that exists in the world. They're going to go home and do more research. 20 questions, you're going to answer all 20. Then they're going to go home and go, now I have enough information to go do research. This one, you better be serious. You better be early to the appointment. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you knew that if you arrived 20 minutes earlier or half an hour earlier or whatever, I don't know what you're doing, depends on how long the day is, could be even an hour earlier, who knows, and you're prepped for this person. Who was it that lost an appointment because she came late? Was it Sherry or was it?
It was Sherry.
Talks about this all the time. Sherry, the founder of the company. This person on time is a half an hour before you're supposed to come.
Yeah, if you're on time, you're late.
Yeah, if you're not half an hour early, you're late. You're considered late. Now, this one is probably going to come late anyways. So don't even worry about it. Like that one's, don't stress yourself out over that. You know what I mean? And this one might be late, and you know, she was with the family or he was with, you know, and there was all, you know, and look at the tone of my voice is going to be like this because she was busy tending to her kitten or cat or dog or this or that, who knows, right? And this one's got all the technology under control, and you better not make this person wrong. You better not say the words, no, you're wrong. You just blew it. Whatever it is, you just blew it. You better say, oh, I thought it was this. Wow, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I love your Tesla. I love your Tesla. I love your electric car. That's really good. I love your house. That is so efficient. And this one too. Wow, that's a really great investment. That's a
So
very stable long-term investment. And you want slowly. And
Marianne, me and John went and looked. We had to get a piece of luggage for a trip that was coming up.
oh God.
So this was not for me. It was for him. So we went to 4 different stores. 4. And we compared pricing and size and shape and dimensions and the rolling of the wheels. 4 stores later, 3 hours of my time, I would have just bought the first one that I liked. Had to look good, designer name, could have been, I don't know, $1,000. I wouldn't have cared.
I
That's
don't
what
know how much
credit's
it
for.
costs. That's what credit cards are for. Credit cards. Credit cards. Credit cards. Credit cards for sure, because they probably don't have the cash anyways. And if they do, they wouldn't carry it around.
Well,
Credit cards, because I don't know, credit cards. Cash. Done. And what about these guys? Would you say credit cards? Or I'd say credit cards for these guys.
well,
They have it already.
see, blueprints don't like credit.
Yeah, no.
So
No.
they don't like to. They would use a credit card, but they'd pay it off or look at their budget.
Yeah.
Action, we don't care. Credit card, cash, it doesn't matter to us. We'll spend whatever. It's all money. It all spends the same
We don't
way.
really care. We'll just spend. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we'll just
spend.
spend.
I had
We
one of my
like to buy things.
I don't know. Okay, he won't do my thing. He hasn't filled it out yet, and I haven't had a chance to meet up with him in person yet. He's been busy, but he's one of these. He's leading with one of these for sure. And he's actually said to me, he goes, you sound like you're a spender. I'm like, you have no idea. You have no idea. And my friend said to me, she goes, real estate is a bad thing for you to be doing because you want to buy everything you're selling, and you can't just go around buying that many properties. And I'm like, make a bet. I can
I
get
feel it.
myself into debt, no problem.
I feel a challenge there. Tell me I can't.
What do you mean? What do you mean I can't buy? Well, it's true. I can't buy every property I want. I get to see so many good deals. It's crazy. It is crazy, and I can't buy all of them. So I have to buy one, wait until I get bored of it, then I sell that one to go buy another one. Yeah, that's the way it works. Yeah, it's not easy being an A,
No, it really isn't. And
it,
it's not easy for the other codes to be around us because sometimes it's exhausting.
it's exhausting for everyone to have to sit there and listen to us. We're not quiet people. I mean, I have to work at it sometimes, and even on the calls when we have our calls and stuff, if somebody asks a question, if one of the trainers asks us a question and nobody puts up their hand, I wait because I always go first because I can always talk, and I'm like, better just stop because maybe other people might want to talk. So I might have a day like that where the nurturing might be a little more in front of me. And then nobody talks, and then I get to talk again, and then the trainer has no one to pick. So then they'll say, hey, Marianne, why don't you tell us what's going on? And I'm like, okay, I can talk. I can talk about whatever you want. I don't prep for anything hardly ever. It's crazy. I want to ask Nikki how she likes it because she's newer to it than you and I are, of course. Michelle's the hardcore expert, and I'm going to be an expert soon. So Nikki, go for it.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, thank you. I'm sitting here listening in and just cracking up because when I was first introduced to bank code, I thought, oh, this is great. Everybody gets along and I just get to know who they are. And then I began to understand how it gets to change the way I communicate because people are different. And let me tell you, it's made a huge difference in my relationship at home and how I see people. Like Marianne said, instead of just thinking, oh, why are they being such a pain? You begin to understand that that's their value. And it's also allowed me to include people in my business in a different way because I see the value of their strength, which might have been something that irritated me before because I thought they were just being difficult. And the other empowering thing about this is I am an N-A-B-K. I think my A is quite strong with my N, but my K falls off altogether. The first time I did this, I battled with what comes first, the B or the K, until I understood it more. And when I was on the last event, and I'm sure Marianne will tell you about the one that's coming up, and I was learning more about this, I thought, oh, I'll hop on for a bit because I know about different personalities. But you know what? When I heard more, I then canceled all my other appointments and stayed on there for the entire thing because you begin to understand not only yourself, but how you can communicate better personally and in business. Because when you realize other people aren't just ignoring you and that they're actually processing and thinking, you have a completely different approach to it. So, yeah, I'm still fairly new at this, ready to do it, love finding out other people's codes. And if you crack your code, it helps you. It's not just about other people communicating better. It's a huge part of your personal growth. It's a huge part of being your best self because you can show up really well for what's being expected by somebody else. And we don't change the way we show up, but we can respect and just meet people where they at. And that's what I've found is so very different for me since I started this. And I'm loving the learning. I'm loving the ongoing. And yeah, my A is second. So I didn't jump in with all fours like you two. I'm a little more of a nurturer and a little more taking time and gently going into it. But boy, is it powerful. So powerful. And when I reevaluated and took the test again, guess what? My case started to appear. Because when you know where you're at, when you have that awareness, you know what to develop. So that's been powerful for me.
It's so true. Like you have the power to basically be a much better communicator, hands down, without a doubt. Everyone should be taking this. This isn't just for work and for sales, but that's kind of the number one reason that people do it for. But this is for at home. Like we were talking about this, and I was making a comment on how I think this could help prevent suicide because I mean, we all laugh when we say black sheep of the family, but let's face it, there's large families and there's kids that are so different from the rest of the family, they really feel out of place. And then they go to school and maybe they're a little bit, more out of place there or whatever. And now they think there's something wrong with them and this, that, and the other. And it's like, no, this is who you are. This is why you like quiet. This is why I like partying, and it's just, it's so amazing. And now I know when I'm talking to this person that I have to speak carefully, clearly, slowly, because this just isn't going to work for them. And I know that when I have an A, I have to do it this fast because they don't have a lot of tolerance or attention. And this is it. I got to get things done fast. This is what you're getting. This is what we're going to do. This is how much it is. Yes, we take credit. Done. Conversation over. And then if we get the K, we're going to have to just, describe everything. And here's the white papers, and the B as well. Here's the white papers of this, that, and the other. And here's the long version of everything in the world. And I don't know if I can pull this off because I don't do long versions. So I don't often know how, but I do know how to slow down my speech. I have done a lot of training with listening. So I know how to say what I need to say and then shut up and stay quiet and let them talk and let them decipher whatever they need. And, what is this and what is that? And, all of that. So now I know what to do with my real estate clients and they appreciate it. Right. Like he actually used the words. He goes, I really appreciate you explaining this to me, taking the time to explain it to me. Yeah.
Well, Mariette,
house, and that was the end of that. That was my speech.
It makes a huge difference. It is a game changer. I got on a call with someone the other day. Their code is NKAB. And he got on the call, and when we first started talking, I was much slower. I was much more loving and he said, I saw you on the networking call the other day and you had so much more energy and you were like, I said, yes, but your code is NKAB. If I would have gone on this call and aged you to death, you would have hated me. I tell people it's not that I'm changing who I am, right? If you go to a foreign country, are you going to expect everybody to adapt to the way your language, or are you going to learn the language of the people? It doesn't matter how loud or slow you talk, they're never going to connect or understand you. But if you understand the different languages, you're just speaking the language of the people. and meeting them where they are, like Nikki said.
It's
And I
true.
think that's what's so important, and you've both said it, is that we all have all four in us.
All of us.
And when I know Marianne says when she's dealing with real estate clients, she deals more in a certain letter. When she deals with other people, in a different one, because those things naturally come out. You may be a different, your dominant might be different for personal and business, and that's okay. And you learn how to elevate the different ones. So powerful for growth.
It's true.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why the more you train, the more you listen and you do, like going through the certification piece, because we can keep going through it. We're learning how to master those skills
Mhm.
and understand how to dance and shift in those codes, because we are all four and we can change depending on the situation, or, somebody tripwiring us.
Yeah, and it's true. I can tap into the look at I have my moments when I go with my dog to the park down by and I sit on a bench. I want to meditate. I'm not interested in partying at that moment. So can I party? Hell yeah. But at that moment, I want to do this. So I have a part of me that is introverty-ish, and I can pull that out when I need to for a B who needs me to speak slower. And it just allows all of us to be more respectful to each other. So I'm doing it because of you. One of my other clients said a similar thing to me about a long time ago. And he said, oh, he goes, you usually come in and you're like, hi. And I go, I do. And this time I came in quiet. Oops, sorry, I'm having a light show here. And he goes, you're not your usual bubbly self. You okay? I go, I am. I go, I'm just trying to be quiet because you're quieter and you don't like loud noises. And so me coming in, he goes, oh, that's nice. And I'm like, yeah, it's respectful, right? I'm trying to come to you on your terms so that you will listen to me for longer because I was trying to he was a contractor and I was trying to get the listing. And to get a contractor into your pocket is really difficult because most of them already have agents, and he did have an agent, but now I'm one of his agents. I do the West End and his other agent does the East End because I hate going to the East End. I don't do the East End. I try not to do it. I would do it if I had to, but not if I can help it. So this worked out perfect.
And I
I
love
love
the
it.
image you had of the dancing, because if you think about it, we all like to communicate, but
Mhm.
in different ways. And we all like to dance. We all like to have movement, but you don't dance a salsa to a slow dance.
No,
And that's the same here with the communication. Follow the music of the person you're speaking to.
Oh, that's
it's,
beautiful, Nikki.
I like that, right? You can't do that.
Hmm.
That's right. You can't dance the salsa to a slow romantic
Yeah,
music. You
yeah,
can't do the romance to the salsa
yeah.
or to rap, or well, maybe you could, but I don't know. I guess you could. You could do anything you want, I suppose. But yeah, it's nice, and people feel respected, and they're like, "Oh, I really like dealing with you," and wow, this was lovely. And and he had also mentioned something. I can't remember what we were talking. Oh, something about the photography and this, that, and the other. And I said, yeah, I'm trying to get a photographer out there. It was so far out, I couldn't get a photographer to go there. It was 2.5 hours away, and it was very remote. And I'm like, okay, I'm still trying. I'm not like, I don't give up easy. So I finally found one, and I said, oh my gosh, I go, not only are we going to have really great photos and a great video, but we're going to have a drone. So we're going to have some really great stuff. And he goes, oh, wow, that's going to be so cool. I'm like, yeah. And then he goes, well, what about that virtual staging? And I said, virtual staging, two parts. Okay. It looks really nice in pictures, but people get severely disappointed when they get there. So I don't like it and I don't use it because of that reason, because the buyer then feels ripped off and is like, well, wait, this doesn't look anything like the picture. Yeah, I know. Pictures look great. So why don't we just enhance the pictures? So that's why I took the drone, right? But it was so cool because the drone made everything really awesome. Anyways, so that's that. What else can we say about this? It's almost 2:30.
May I just encourage you? You've heard these two ladies talk about the certification, and they're really going all out in this. That doesn't mean that you can't just get in, find out about it, take your bank code. I know Marianne's going to drop the link. You will get so much value out of just that. You don't have to be taking this so that you can now get certified. But hang on to the people who are certified because they are wise. They are wise. Meet them, connect with them. But don't think, oh no, that's this huge big thing. I have to do the whole thing.
No.
You know, if
No,
you're
you
not
don't
an A, you're not going to want to do that.
And you can
I
also
started
go,
at the bottom.
right. So you can also go level by level. So you can sign up at a level 1 and level 2 and level 3 and level 4 and level 5. Level 4 is so far level 4 is the hardest. It's like for me it was a lot of good work, but I learned a lot. It was amazing. There's also a vault. There's also the is it the $99 a month that you have, Nikki? And you get to use the links, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that you still get, and you also get to be an influencer for an extra $199 a year. You get to be an affiliate basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's exciting. They have so many different levels. Not everything needs to be level 5 coach. Just the crazy, that's for us crazy people. Let us handle that. We'll take that one. And you can go step by step too, right? And if you do want to be a coach, you can take level 1. It's like a fifth of the price, literally a fifth of the price. And yeah, there's so many wonderful things in there. There's book. Oh my God, there's so much learning in there. And a lot of it, there's a whole section that's recorded, and all the lives are pretty much recorded. We have access to all the recordings, right? I mean, I've always been on the thing. I try to make sure that I'm there because I don't like recordings. I like to be able to ask questions. So I've just cleared my path and my schedule for that, right? But it's exciting.
And for those ends out there, the slogan that they use is make people matter. Because when you start to understand other people, you are making them matter. And to me, that was one of the big draws, that this is about creating a harmony in the world by understanding one another, not just in your own community, but in the world, because that is how we're going to get the beautiful peace that we deserve in this chaotic world. Let's switch it up, make people matter.
It's so
I love it,
true.
Nick.
That's exactly what it is. It's perfect, right? And you should definitely come and play with us. Now, before I forget, and before we all forget, October 10th, we have a free event. Free event. Free is in your budget, whoever you are, because it's in mine. It's going to be in yours. Free event. Is it 1 to 5, Michelle? 1 to 5 Eastern Standard?
Correct.
1 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. It'll be a Zoom, and it's going to be run by Sherry Tree, which Sherry is, she's the owner, founder. And Michelle's going to be there, probably. I'm going to be there. I don't know about Nikki. Nikki, are you going to be there?
So
For some portion of
I
it.
cannot do the whole day. I have some previous commitments, but
Right.
definitely.
And so 1 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. I don't know which time zone that is for you, but check it out. And either come to me or Nikki or Michelle, and we will give you the link. No problem, whoever you're connected to most. And I promise you, you will love it. You will love it. They've cut it down to 1 day, which is, to me, the first day was always like, I was like this the whole time. It's just like, this is perfect, and my tongue hanging out. Like, it was just amazing. This will elevate your life, and it will elevate your business, guaranteed. At the very least, life will become easier for you. You will understand people. You won't take things oh my gosh, if you're the type of person who takes things personally all the time, you will appreciate this system so much when you learn that this is what they do with everyone. They're not just doing this with you. You will not be taking it personally. You will have more compassion for people, which is kind of where we're all as humans going anywhere, aren't we? Like, isn't that where we're going? It's a structured process and you will learn tons. And people matter. Like, there's a higher purpose to this. We are going to, we're going to have a community. If you like community, this is for you. You got to come. This is it. And you will be more compassionate with everyone for sure. And you will be much more successful in here and in here. Leadership from the heart. This goes right along with it. Any final words from anyone?
Take the opportunity. Don't overlook this opportunity.
Opportunity of a lifetime. And this is a movement to make people matter.
This is totally, come play with us. Come do business with us. Come learn. Come. This is proven methods right here. Thank you all so much. Thank you, ladies, for joining me for this. Thank you, everyone who came today. Thank you to all my wonderful speakers as usual. And thank you to anyone who will be watching the recording. Pass this along. Feel free to spread this around the world as much as possible. Give it to people who need to hear it. And thank you all so much. And